Hello everybody, this is Brandon from Galaxy Stock Market. Today is February 1st, first day of February 2025, about 3 p.m. Eastern Time as I make this video for everybody. And as you can tell by the title, gold is at all-time highs, and I've been warning and pounding the tables about precious metals. And for a long time, I think everybody thought that all I cared about was gold and silver. Well, here we are. Gold is breaking out to all-time highs, and the implications of that, and a lot of things we need to talk about, but hopefully I can get it all in under 35 minutes. What we want to talk about is the implications of, I've been talking about how I believe Trump is setting up United States for a strategic default of its debts and regeneration of the new monetary policy. And as a result of that, he has become very, very protectionist. And we will go all over all of that and how the tariffs that go into effect today actually, it's in effect now. It's February 1st on China, Canada, and Mexico is leading up to these price actions, and why you need to be warned and you need to look closely at what the market is telling you. All right. So here's the disclaimer. Pause it, read it. If you agree, please move forward. Okay. And of course, we're on x.com/galaxy.market. And, I'm very, very active there. There's a lot to opine on market and also on the social and geopolitical events for the day that are important. And I think those are all intertwined within your trading as well as your investment perspective. So I include that. Okay. Some of you may not like my viewpoints, but it's my channel, and I don't care. I believe that I'm trying to bring a lot of common sense to everybody who may only be getting their news source from the mainstream media, which is dead. All right. So here's the black swan warning. I've been warning about black swans. I said there's tons of black swans everywhere. And the topic for the coming week and how you should trade is based on the fact that tariffs, protectionism, and LBMA and COMEX, we're going to go into that in a little bit of detail, is in technical default, meaning that the futures market, in which JP Morgan Chase and all the crony banks around the globe have been suppressing gold and silver because they cannot have gold and silver rise. And it basically kills their narratives about the fractional reserve banking system, or their fiat money-based system, which is all based on debt and ability to print money out of thin air. I think that is coming to an end, and that in itself is what's driving the gold prices. And I know silver has lagged a little bit, but silver is a monster waiting to break out. It'll chop around and it'll just move slowly and slowly, and then suddenly it will break out and it will melt faces. But this is the warning. Let's get into that exact topic. And basically, this is a great picture of Jerome Powell. I think it's awful. This guy is basically a globalist shill, and we need to end the Fed. There's no reason for Fed to have authority over not only interest rate policy, but on money supply and issuing debt. They are a private bank, okay? And in order for them to stay relevant, they need to suppress gold and silver. And that conspiracy has been confirmed. And, we've been talking about this. This is from January 29th. Make gold great again. Put this out. And this is something that I've been warning everybody about, that there is just historical levels of naked shorts on gold and silver, especially silver. Okay. And so given that, here's what it says, given that the cash spot contracts in London typically specify delivery on demand with a few days of delivery, they're behind 4 to 8 weeks, okay? And that is a technical default, okay? And they are scrambling, trying to find gold to deliver. The problem is that everybody's hoarding them. And these are precious metals, and the name precious metals means they're very limited in supply. And this is God's money, folks. This is sound money. This is constitutional money. Whatever you want to talk about it. The U.S. dollar is printed out of thin air. It has nothing backing it other than the full promise of United States. And it's, what I've been talking about is we are, from all intents and purposes, from the actions of what Donald Trump is doing, we are preparing for a national bankruptcy. All right. Alex Jones, he's back, folks. And hate or like it, he's back. And he's speaking, he speaks from what's common sense. All right. So he's talking about the perfect storm of precious metals, okay? Look, central banks around the world are running out of physical gold, and many experts believe a global run on the precious metal has begun. And you can see that in the gold prices. And I've been warning about this for the last 6 months at the very least, okay, folks? And those who prepared will get rewarded because you either have it when the moment happens or you don't, okay? So this is what's happening. Everybody's running around with their head cut off. And then this is Robert Kintz. I'm sorry, from the Freedom Report. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. But, and he's absolutely correct. It's the tariffs that might be the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay. And the manipulation is real. Okay. And, the thing is that U.S. is preparing for default on the $38 trillion debt. And so it may not even just be the tariffs, but it's actually what I'm talking about, is that people know the Trump's action is basically strategically or advantageously or conveniently get rid of that $38 trillion debt. And there's not a whole lot the world can do about it. Okay. So this right now is leading to LBMA and COMEX technical default. Okay. And of course, and I opined in because I mentioned this in our trading group. We said we're breaking out, and we really have broken out. Gold is breaking out to all-time highs, and it's because of LBMA shortage, and it's real and was expected. It's just those of you who said this would never happen, wait in the next ensuing weeks. It's going to be historical. Okay, just remember that Bitcoin is a proxy for gold. It's the digital gold. Where is it trading right now? 105K. I'm not saying it's going to get there overnight, but that is where normally the money that would have gone into the gold market, they can't have that because they simply cannot deliver physical gold at the level that they're basically writing contracts on. So it goes to Bitcoin. And we'll talk a little bit more about Bitcoin, how I believe they are not the ones that are going to be ushering in the new digital currency age. Okay. This makes me laugh because Forbes is the kiss of death, folks. If you remember Sam Bankman-Fried from FTX and Elizabeth Holmes Elizabeth Holmes from the Theranos debacle. Well, here is Michael Saylor. Remember, he was also very popular in 1999 to 2000 when he had to restate MicroStrategy's earnings because he took on similar ridiculous stance. Those of you who are long on MicroStrategy, I'm not saying it's going to be tomorrow, but soon. There is no correlation between them and Bitcoin. And also, Bitcoin it's not going to go away. It's been around the longest, but utility standpoint and for the importance in providing liquidity to the world when this whole thing comes unraveling, and it will, it's happening right now. Okay, and I put here buy XRP, and that's important to know. XRP is the one, folks. Okay, so, and then I think about 3 months ago, I was talking about when BRICS had their kind of this meeting, and I said they're bringing about BRICS denominated precious metals exchange, their own currency. I believe that is still ongoing because Donald Trump is saying, to move away from the dollar, how dare you type of speech here. Okay, he has to say it. What else is he going to do? And then he's threatening everybody with tariffs. And while that may be a good thing, but this is going to start protectionism. That's what I keep talking about. When do countries become protectionist is when they're ready to do bankruptcy, right? Technical default. Everybody knows each other is bankrupt, okay? And so world wars are being exchanged. And so he's saying, say hello to tariffs and goodbye to America. You can't sell stuff here if you do. Protectionism, folks. That is the key words that basically makes me believe, without a beyond ounce of doubt, that we are going to default on our debt. And I don't even know if it's 38 trillion. Who knows how much money was actually printed and how much debt was actually issued. If you haven't noticed that Doge, D-O-G-E, headed by Elon Musk and Donald Trump's cabinet, are unearthing all kinds of ridiculous, wasteful spending. So if you give an entity like Federal Reserve Bank, who is a private bank who has no affiliation with the banks at all, okay, maybe they have affiliation with the Rothschilds and the globalists, the satanic elites of the world, I guess. Who knows how much money they actually did print? It's going to be interesting to find out. But like I told you in my previous couple of videos I was talking about, I don't even think that derivatives and all of the secondary markets that exist for all of the financial instruments are not going to be just in the quadrillions. I think it's in the quintillions. I think that's the next number. I can't even fathom what that number looks like. Okay? So, monetary reset is coming. All right? Okay, and then my favorite person, this person, okay? Breaking, Arizona lawmakers are now investigating illegitimate, and that's true, folks. If you don't think that the election in Arizona was not up and up, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, but this Katie Hobbs said at first it was like 30 million that had shortfalls in the school districts and everything. Now it's 339 million. And that's disappeared, okay? And then, of course, Hobbs' budget director mysteriously resigned on the January 30th, okay, 29th, actually, okay? So when you put these type of people that were installed and they usurp the power of the people to choose their governor or their elected officials, this is what happens. And it's the same thing. It's rotted at the federal level and it's rotted at the state level. Okay, if you live in Arizona and you walk around, you would hardly believe that that there are any Democrats around here. Okay, but not only that, how is it possible that you elect in a majority fashion? Okay, I know we were a battleground state here, Donald Trump, and yet we elect a governor that's Democrat. Does that even make sense? Okay. All right, so I'm not going to get into that any further. Arizona has a crisis. Our country has a crisis. All right, so Kobesi letter. These guys are good. And on January 30th, they said finally breaking gold prices surged to all-time high of $28.40 an ounce. Gold is telling us something. And of course, if you go back months on end, I was always saying, listen to gold. What is it telling you? Gold is warning everyone. Okay, silver is next. Okay, I've been saying this. I've been saying this stuff all the way down here, right? So I said, watch gold, folks. And then I found this. So I'm glad that, great minds think alike. And I'm glad that, he put something out to that effect. He has much stronger following than I do. But gold is telling you something, folks. If you're ultra bullish and you think Trump is going to take this market to new highs, there's a lot of headwinds ahead of us. And then let me get into this. A Midwestern doctor. Okay, follow her if you want. I mean, she does good work. And here, look, Bernie Sanders was, among others, berating RFK Jr. about, how they're going to bankrupt pharmaceutical companies. And why were they so upset? It's because, Bernie, how dare you? Okay, I thought you're for the people, that you're a socialist. All right. He got paid $2 million, basically. All right. To become shill for the pharmaceutical companies. This must end. These type of cronyism, these type of, just the hypocrisy that exists, okay, has to end. Okay, all RFK Jr. wants to do is bring factual data and sound policies that makes America healthy again, not to be raked over the coals with pharmaceutical and FDA and the corruption. They all need to be fixed. Now, I run another, I'm a health and wellness also. So basically, what I want to tell you, I'm definitely into that. I see my own set of clients. In addition to this finance stuff, this fat craze that's been going on for people to be afraid of fats and vilifying eggs and milk, I'm just going to leave it at that, is all false. You need fats for functioning immune system, hormonal system, and for your serotonin levels. And if you go all low fat because you're trying to lose weight, when was the last time you actually lost weight doing low fat diet? Just want to leave it at that for you. Okay. Now, Let's go into this guy, Macron. I don't know who's worse, him or Trudeau. I mean, I both look at him. They're just beta soy males. Um, he's threatening, weighing options to deploy troops to Greenland. When was the last time France won any war or battles for that matter? All right. And so I thought he was for the peace and stability of the world. All right. Why is he threatening to bring in troops there? What does he have? What's his interest in Greenland? I understand what America is trying to do. What's he trying to do? I have a hard time that they're not bankrupt either with their open border policies and just completely dystopian society that he's created over there. And then, of course, this is the same one from last video. But guys, time, on this little pullback that's happening because everyone's afraid of the tariffs. So, oh my God, what's happening? Yes, when the market is about to crash, and I think it will crash, and the last couple of days of market action is suggesting that it will, and we'll go over into that technical analysis. All right. If you do not accumulate XRP now, everyone's going to be lined up to buy XRP at 10,000, 1,000. I don't know. I have my own set of math on that, but this is going to seem pretty cheap, and then this is when all the masses are going to be lining up. Okay, you could have bought XRP at 18 cents, folks, if you'd have listened. All right, so let's get into where we are currently on the broader stock market, as evidenced by the SPY monthly chart. We're at the upper end of the channel. I'm going to beat this to death. Whenever we hit that upper channel, it doesn't happen right away. But we get these major crashes, boom, 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 and down, okay? I think this is from 2008 to 2009 financial crisis. I think we go all the way down back into this level, okay? Why? Because the amount of fraud, amount of printed money that is backed by nothing, just the amount of geopolitical instability, just the amount of suffering that's going on, the inflation. Nothing was fixed during this period from 2008 to 2009. Lived through it. I know what it is. This was that kind of the pandemic scare. We never really topped there. And then in 23, we hit the top end and we corrected down, right? 22 to 23. And then we went, just higher based on the specter of the Fed cutting rates. By the way, Fed cutting or raising rates has nothing to do with anything, as evidenced by recent price action. 10-year yield is still rising. Banks are still insolvent as ever. Okay, what good is the Fed? What do they do? Okay, they're not a government agency, folks. All right. So 10-year yield, since we last spoke, we talked about it last week here. Here we are. We're right at that inflection point, right? Overhead resistance. There's a couple of trend lines that it needs to go. We're right in there. If we can get above here, I think this is going to go straight up into the 50s level, and all hell will break loose. Okay, that's what's happening right now. Okay, so XRP and Bitcoin and XDC, I've been harping on that a little bit. So where are we now? Okay, what are they doing? So let me bring this up. Let's talk about it. This is the XRP on a daily chart. Okay, so frankly, I mean, it's just basically a big, we had these type of pullbacks. We're just flagging, right? Bull flag formation. Okay. Whoever was able to get this at 265 is a legend. I couldn't. I was watching it all day long, and when that happened, so I think they just screwed all the futures player, both long and the short side. And then here's the XDC. Same thing, folks. All right. Use this pullback if you don't have enough. Here's a bull flag, another bull flag. We're coming back, a little steep pullback, but here we are. This is the buy point denoted by these purple dotted lines, okay? And then where are we on the Bitcoin? Okay, so Bitcoin, same thing. Okay, I mean, Bitcoin's a little better behaved, right? It's just sideways consolidation through all summer. Here's that kind of the cup formation, and then we broke out, and then all we're doing is, folks, just forming a bull flag, right? Nothing more, nothing less. The fiat money's dead. They're looking for a way out. A lot of times, I've been saying bankers take you to war. They usually create wars and blame it on that. Or they'll create a major terrorist attack or catastrophe. I'm not saying they're the only ones involved in it, but that's usually how the things go. We've had a pandemic and nothing came of it. And so now it's like we have mysterious planes crashing, helicopters running into planes. No one knows what the hell's going on. In Pennsylvania, another quote unquote plane crash, but then they can't find the plane wreckages. It looks like more likely that a missile hit the ground over there. Okay, but this is what's going on. Okay. This is a buying opportunity for those of you who have not accumulated enough, right? So let's go and talk about market technical picture. I'm just going to talk about a few things, and I want to go over what we've been talking about. Let's see. Yeah, that was on Friday. And we have a lot, but it's not fair to show the whole thing. But I give my morning market commentaries with my pivot levels and everything. These are for our beloved members who have faith in making my membership community vibrant. All right. We took the Apple. This Apple right here, 131. We took it at the 240s. This was a 25x trade, bar none. We've been adding to Meta. Meta was a great trade also. Okay, it was from the previous day. Tesla was a fantastic trade, and we still hold a 2.7. You can see, okay, we have the 375 puts. I can still show you that because we made money off of these. And then we are bearish on SMCI and have been. We found an entry when it was hitting about 31, right? We took the 27 puts. Okay, so that's kind of what we do. All right. I just wanted to kind of show you in case you wonder what it is that I do here. Okay, so that's kind of the things that are going on. Now let's look at our Apple. Okay, let's start with the Apple. Apple is, well, they reported earnings, and I think I posted something on X.com. I said, hey, look, their iPhone sales are historically low. They mentioned something about being on track with the AI, and it popped pre-market. We frankly just shorted that. That was the 25x trade, and that's what we do, folks. This is a massive failure. It's what I call gap and crap, and basically, not only that, it's a bearish engulfing formation, and I believe this thing is going to continue to go down, especially if this tariff situation continues to melt down. We're going way down. I think we're talking about 198 to 195 in the next week or so. Okay, so this is Apple. And then, of course, Meta has been very, very strong. But you know what? These black candles and stock charts tell you that those are institutional distribution. Don't let these buy volumes fool you. These are basically stealth distributions that are happening, right? RSI is flattening out. There's really no real strength. These are very bearish formation. I believe we're going to go right down into the 8 EMA shortly. Okay, that's about, like 30 points down. Probably in a blink of an eye. If you don't think Meta could drop 150 to 200 points when things get real, I got something to tell you. All right. CCI, Commodity Channel Index, is bearishly divergent. My PPO ADX is forming that bearish cup formation, right? When it starts forming these kind of a configuration, it's almost done forming it. So it's not too late on this one. That's why I'm highlighting it. Comerica, I think it's one of those banks that are in trouble. They hold the largest amount of commercial real estate that are non-performing, and you know what I think about this rising 10-year yield. Every one of the banks, not just regional banks like Comerica, I think JP Morgan Chase and all of those guys are bankrupt, functionally bankrupt, and therefore Trump's action about becoming protectionist, trying to get Panama Canal back, now France saying that, they're going to send troops into Greenland, all these mysterious explosions, and now LBMA is out of gold and silver, they can't deliver. Folks, I've been talking about these scenarios. It's all coming together now, right? CMA, okay, is now forming this kind of, it topped out. It's forming this bearish formation. And look at this volume. We're having, from its previous top, we've basically been diverging down, okay? The relative strength is declining, not increasing, Okay. And so MACD is negative, okay, even though it's in a positive sense. I think we're topping out. It's still negatively divergent on the histogram. The CCI is negatively divergent. I mean, there's just nothing to like about this. It's just that they keep rigging and supporting the banks higher. However, with the crisis on the 10-year bond, as well as the dollar that was getting weak, getting to be weak. So on Friday, we saw a little bit of intervention to prop up the dollar. But this tariff situation is what's going to break the camel's back. You watching the gold action, and that's super important, right? Now, SMCI, I've been harping on this forever and ever. When we hit that just above that 5 EMA, we shorted the crap out of that. They report earnings on Monday. Maybe they pop a little. I'm not really phased. We'll just add more if it comes down like that. But my guess is that all of these gaps that are present here, it's going all the way down into the 1725 level. There's just so much elements of fraud, so many questions than the answers. Namely, I want to know, what is the relationship and how is it possible that NVIDIA, AMD, and SMCI are somehow correlated very, very strongly? It's either in Taiwan or in China, right? I'm not suggesting anything to inflame people, but you do realize Jensen Huang and Lisa Su, CEO of AMD and CEO of NVIDIA, they're cousins, right? Okay. And there's questions as to how China, with their DeepSeek AI scandal, how they're trying to undermine, quote unquote, the NVIDIA. But I think the story goes a lot deeper than that, right? So it's something that you might want to keep. I mean, nothing happens by an accident, right? You might want to pay attention to this because, I mean, there's too many coincidences here. Okay. On the AI end, SMCI is the largest customer to NVIDIA, and NVIDIA only has 4 AI customers. Okay. So yes, I'm bearish on NVIDIA, but there's, like I said, I think there's more than an ample opportunity for SMCI to really crap out. I think in the end, I said SMCI is a zero. They still haven't posted their 10K or 10Q. I think they're behind by at least like 3 earnings reports. What good is going to come out of this? Okay. That the market's going to believe. Okay, let's look at gold really quick. Gold is a beast. Here is the weekly on gold, and basically broke out of a nice little cup formation. Broke out of that overhead resistance, and here we are right now, right here. Okay, that's where we are. Okay, gold is going higher, folks. And if you really want to look, I mean, if you see my previous trend line, that's going to act as overhead resistance. 3050 to 3100 in the next few weeks is not out of the question, especially if COMEX is going to, or the LBMA and COMEX don't have the goal to deliver on physical delivery demands. Okay, they're in technical default. Okay, we went over that stuff, right? I also posted a on X.com about this, more of a daily stuff, but I don't need to show anymore. Silver. Okay, so everyone's like tired of silver, but I'm telling you, silver does this. Silver is frustrating to trade. Everyone thinks this is a head and shoulder formation and that we're going to fail and come right back down. Nuh-uh. Not with problems at LBMA, not with tariff threats that Trump is employing, not with the way stock market is behaving. All of the major Magnificent Seven have basically tried to pop out, and then they were sold off hard into the close. What I'm saying is that more than likely we have a situation now where we have a inverse head and shoulders formation, and I think we're going to pop out higher. Remember, while gold is at all-time highs, it hit all-time highs yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, but on Friday. Silver's all-time high, okay, conservatively is 49.98. Okay, we're not even there. So this gap is going to get closed pretty quickly. I believe in this cycle, okay, with a blink of an eye, it's very possible for us to hit between 65 to 75, maybe even 80, if shit gets real. Okay, so silver is cheap, folks. If you can find them right now, bullion dealers, everybody seems to be selling their gold and silver to go buy Bitcoin, which is a wrong move, right? Silver is suppressed, and it's going to continue to stay suppressed. In short, Bitcoin is the beta test coin, right? BTC. You think they chose that symbol for, for fun? It's all on purpose, folks. Nothing is by accident in our world. Everything is planned, and it's I mean, we're at that end times, I believe, biblically, and then you can say whatever you want. I mean, it's just the way it is. XRP is the real world reserve currency, and XDC is the real world tokenization of assets and financial regulations. Okay, those are my favorite coins. Okay, tariffs and protectionism means that America is looking for a strategic default of its debts, and then keep an eye on this LBMA and COMEX. They cannot deliver gold and silver. Word on the street is that they are begging central banks to lend them these physical gold. Okay, guys, short squeeze is coming. LBMA and COMEX may finally be squeezed, and this is bad for the markets. All right. And just because Trump's in the office doesn't mean, for natural and unnatural causes, that the stock market crash cannot happen. So gold and silver telling you something bad is headed our way, right here. And then watch the US dollar. I know they try to recover it a little bit. 104.50 still remains my level of oh shit. If it crosses below there, all hell's going to break loose in the stock market. Okay? Things are about to unravel in the stock market. Gold and silver, naked short slam. Will it hold? My answer is LBMA and COMEX is finally in technical default. Squeeze is days away. XRP was not meant for retail, so don't let them shake you out. Use this little pullback on this Trump's tariff scare. Okay, we can pull back all the way to like 2, maybe 75. If it ever gets to 265, you got to load up the boat. Okay, back up the truck. We're long gold, silver, VIX, XRP, and XDC on any pullback. Here's the short watch. Carvana. We already made money on Apple. MicroStrategy. Hey, Michael Saylor was on Forbes, folks. All right. You know the other clowns that were on there? Yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried and Elizabeth Holmes, okay, among others. Netflix, SMCI. Okay, let's see what happens. NVDA, Comerica. KRE, that's the regional bank index. Okay, if you don't want to short individual names, this is the one you want to short. Not financial advice. Meta and Tesla. Okay, Meta, we're very, very bearish on right now. All right, that's the end of it. Follow us at Galaxy Doc Market. Like us, share us, and thank you so much for subscribing and comment. Okay. Yes, I enjoy doing this, and I want all of you to know, at least there's so much noise going on, at least hopefully I can help you sift through those information. Anyway, subscribe. If you want to learn more about joining my group or wanting to work with me, you want some consultation, email me at coachbrandon@protonmail.com. Otherwise, let's get some alpha and be careful out there.